The Navy's Marine Mammal program turns 65 this year, and over the decades, the program's work has involved training dolphins to spot underwater mines and other hazards, while teaching sea lions how to help attach recovery lines to items sitting in the murky depths. But a recent Navy Times visit to the program's Point Loma, San Diego headquarters reveals far more work going on within the program, which falls under the Naval Information Warfare Center Command. On a recent bright February morning, the dolphins swam together, cavorted, and regularly jumped out of the water as the program's director, Dr. Mark Zitko, explained what the Marine Mammal Program does and has contributed to marine life studies over all these years.
The program started in '59 with one dolphin, and there was always a science inspiration for the program. The original desire was to study how fast dolphins can swim to try and improve ship performance or torpedo performance. Early on, we learned that the animals would make great underwater assistance to Navy and Marine Corps personnel, and that's really what we've been doing ever since. But that original science inspiration has never left the program. We train Navy animals to do simple things under extraordinary circumstances. For them, detecting enemy divers and swimmers or UUVs or enemy mines, finding the target is easy. The animals are natural hunters. We just change what they're hunting for.
In addition to training dolphins to help point out underwater hazards for sailors, much of the program's work has also involved advancing veterinary care to help both the Navy and other human handlers take better care of these animals, Zitko said. And then there is the eternal mystery of the dolphin's exquisite biological acoustics, a sonar array that modern man has yet to successfully replicate in any machine.
The animals are acoustic creatures. From the beginning, we've studied their biological sonar, which is still order of magnitude or better than the best electronics that we've got going.
In a way, the folks at Point Loma hope their research will one day put them out of a job and retire dolphins from the Navy's arsenal of assets.
The Navy's policy is we want to replace our marine mammals and our marine mammal systems as soon as technology is available to do that. And for one mission in particular, that's already happened. So the dolphins used to have a job to do, and now our underwater vehicles are doing that job, and that's mine hunting for bottom and moored mines in shallow water under favorable conditions. So that's an example of where we followed our guidance. We actually had the animals doing a job, technology got there, had a smooth transition. Some of the same personnel switched from working with the dolphins to working with the vehicles.
Still, Zitko warned that undersea drone communications are far more difficult than their airborne counterparts, and that dolphins will likely lead the way for some time to come.
The challenge is it's really hard. And we all see all the amazing things that happen with aerial drones. There's so much about how we communicate and navigate in the air that's so much easier than doing it underwater. So it's just going to take more time than I think some folks imagine that it might. It's coming, but there are jobs the animals do that we don't think they're going to be replaced for decades.
The program also studies the hearing systems of animals like dolphins to better understand how the Navy's operations, both above and below the surface, impact these animals. But the work of a Navy dolphin is not confined to the sprawling enclosures at Point Loma, and Zitko said that can present some challenges. Stated simply, dolphins struggle with being transported, so much of the work here involves training them to be comfortable with such disruptions and being taken out of the water.
What we do that's unique, though, is we go out in the ocean to do our stuff, and we go to lots of different oceans, not just here. So it's the traveling part that's hard. Getting a dolphin to be comfortable with being transported in trucks, on ships, airplanes, helicopters, going different places, that's the challenge. And there's no way we can rush it, because at the end of everything we do, we release the animals and rely on them to be cooperative partners with us out in the ocean.
What do you think are some of the misconceptions folks outside of the military or whatever might have about the work you guys do here?
We have a Secretary of the Navy instructions, and it's all about the care of the Navy's animals. And it says the Navy's animals will be provided the highest quality care. Not high care, pretty good care, within budget care, highest quality care. And that's been the Navy's position throughout the entire history of the program. It is a tough job that we're doing, but we don't do anything on the backs of the animals. And that we have that support through the highest level of the Navy and DoD. I think right now we have about 120 animals. I've got a staff of about 16 veterinarians, so that's a pretty good patient-doctor ratio. But really, it's the animal care and training staff. They're the first line of defense. They look at it. How is this animal moving today? How's he responding? Does she look the way that they normally do? And if not, one of our veterinarians comes down and takes a look. All of our animals are trained to participate in their own health care. They sit still and let us look at every orifice and body part. And the Navy invented that. Back in the 60s, we were the first ones to train a dolphin to voluntarily give a blood sample from its fluke, sit still, calmly for that. And then we sort of spread that philosophy throughout the marine mammal community. And then marine mammal trainers spread it throughout the zoological community and even into our domestic pets. I heard a radio story the other night about pediatricians wanting to use the exact same techniques we use to get our marine mammals comfortable with blood draws and these things. We should be doing this with children. And it's talking about how for many young children there's fear of needles, right? How it can last a lifetime. And if medical doctors had the good sense that veterinarians and marine mammal trainers had, we could cut all that off at the pass.
In Point Loma, San Diego, this is Jeff Zazulowicz for Navy Times.